What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're doing very well. I'm on the PTR, and I think there might be a new Lightsmith build, and it's going to incorporate a flash of light in a way that is finally going to make it work with the instant melee playstyle of Holy Paladin. Because one of the last things that I think a lot of people want is to have Holy Paladin go back to being kind of a caster playstyle. I understand that fear. I totally get where people are coming from, and I know people are worried about that. But Blizzard has made a massive change to how Infusion of Light works, and we're going to talk about that right now. So let's just look at it. Basically, Flash of Light now gets a massive healing increase from Infusion of Light, and it becomes instant cast, and that's why this is so important. The instant part of it makes it so that you can still continue to do your regular sort of melee healing, pseudo melee healing. It's not quite as melee as Mistweaver Monk, but it's close. If you're playing Lightsmith, you're going to be doing AC Wings, and you're going to be in there, and now you have an instant flash heal, and you don't have to stand there and cast flash heal. It just is instant if you get an infusion proc. So it also heals for 200% more because of some of the talents I've taken. And you can buff that even further by taking things like Moment of Compassion. So what ends up happening here is that whenever you get an infusion proc, you can throw an instant flash of light on people. And if you put Beacon of Virtue on everybody before you do it, because Beacon of Virtue, or Beacon in general, is stronger now than it was before, it's going to transfer tons of healing into your team. And you end up with these moments that just feel so incredible, where people are like on the brink of death and you just flash heal them for like 7 million, and then it heals the rest of your team as well. So the reason that this works with Lightsmith is because of laying down arms. Now, Infusion itself has been completely changed. It used to proc off of your Holy Shock critical strikes, and now it doesn't proc off that anymore. It's only off of Holy Shocks in general, whether they crit or not, but it has a 10% chance to proc. So it's very low, but the Infusion of Light payoff is now really good. So it's worth it to get that proc, and the way you do it with Lightsmith is by laying down arms. When an armament fades from you, the cooldown of Lay on Hands goes down, and you gain Infusion. And this is the only way to gain Infusion for free is on Lightsmith. Herald of the Sun doesn't have this. So now we've cooked up a build where we have Tower of Radiance, which means Holy Power. We get a Holy Power when we press Flash of Light. It's 50% stronger in our beacons. It's 20% stronger from Divine Revelations. It's proccing Power of the Silver Hand. It's proccing Veneration. And we get 2 stacks of Infusion of Light whenever we get Infusion. So you're going to get 2 Flash of Lights that are super strong. They generate Holy Power. They're proccing Veneration. They're proccing Power of the Silver Hand. It's really good. Inside of your Virtue, if you're going to run Virtue, you could run Faith as well, but I'm choosing to do Virtue for now. Inside of Virtue, it hits really, really hard. And over the course of a dungeon, you can see Flash of Light now becomes a substantial part of our healing. 8.7% of my overall healing. You can see some of them, the normal hits were 4.3 million. I had a crit for 7.4 million. I mean, this is serious. This is like a serious spell now. And like I said, it's instant cast, so it doesn't interfere with your regular rotation if you're playing basically like a standard sort of melee healing Lightsmith Pally. So I'm really enjoying this, and I think it works quite well. You can see I have this new Infusion weak aura that I just cooked up. It's very simple, but it just shows me that I've got the stacks and then I can use them. You can either spend your Infusion, of course, on Judgment, or you can spend it on Flash of Light now. I should have laid on hands that guy. That was my mistake. My healing right now, I'm at 4 million HPS. 4.3 million HPS. Like, we're pumping. Lightsmith is pumping pretty well in Season 3 with this new build, and I really enjoy having this extra tool. One thing I've just really noticed is having an additional tool like this, in my opinion, is a massive deal. So, like, the way Lightsmith works now is it's kind of divided up into a bunch of different healing moments that you have. So, for example, you have your AC Wings, right? You put Virtue on everybody, and you press your AC Wings, and your Judgment and Crusader Strike are healing people, and that extra healing is actually going into your beacons. The Hammer and Anvil healing that you're getting is not going into your beacons, but the regular AC Wings healing is going into your beacons. So That's really cool. You press AC Wings, you press Virtue, you've got all that's going into your beacons. You have the Hammer and Anvil healing on top of it because of the tier set bonus. It's very, very strong. And then once you're outside of that, you have Beacon of Virtue plus Divine Toll plus Holy Prism. And then if you're out of those cooldowns, you now have access to this kind of consistent, it's always kind of procking all the time because your armaments are always fading off of people. And you end up getting these infusion procs, which turn into Flash of Lights, which do a lot of healing, especially when you have Virtue on everybody. It feels very, very good. And it generates Holy Power, so you can just go like Holy Shock, Flash of Light, Wog, Flash of Light, Wog. You know, you're like going back and forth between these different things. And it equals a lot of healing. You can see here, this is the second pack. We had 6.2% of our healing was from Flash of Light, which was really good. It's super strong. We had a 5.6 mil crit there. So the cool part about this is that you get infusion procs all the time when you're in the Lightsmith spec because of lay down arms. This is not going to look like this at all with Herald of the Sun. I wouldn't recommend doing this with Herald. But with Lightsmith, you're getting infusion procs all the time, and they're actually good now. They actually matter, which is so cool. Because before, it didn't really matter if you got an infusion proc. You had infusion procs all the time because your Holy Shock was critting all the time, but it didn't matter. And that was kind of sad and annoying. But now you have this proc that's happening all the time. The other cool thing is that there's this cycle, right? So you get an infusion proc. You press your armaments. Your armaments fade from people. You get an infusion proc. You spend the infusion proc. It actually cools down your armaments again because of the talent in the middle of the hero tree right here. Consuming infusion of light reduces the cooldown of your armaments by 3 seconds. So you get this great cycle going on back and forth where your armaments give you infusion, your infusion gives you more armaments. That's just how it kind of works. So it's very good. It's strong. I noticed in basically all of my testing that as I continued to use it more and more, it was super strong. And now, like I said before, it feels like Lightsmith has these little like sections of healing that they do. AC Wings, healing. Beacon of Virtue plus Holy Prism plus Divine Toll, healing there. And then Beacon of Virtue plus your infusion procs plus some Holy Shocks and some Wogs, and like that's kind of this, you know, you're going to cover an event right there. And then your AC Wings is back and you're pressing AC Wings again, and you can kind of just do these 3 different like cycles in my opinion. And all the cooldowns are really low. You have 1 minute wings, you have 45-second Divine Toll, or 1 minute Divine Toll, but 45 seconds is probably what you're going to do. You have a 30-second Holy Prism. You have your armaments every 30 seconds that are coming out. You're getting infusion procs all the time. It's really good. The layers here, in my opinion, are quite good. I think it's a fantastic addition to the Lightsmith tree, and I felt, especially with like single target healing, like how I need for the to do for this guy right now, it felt very strong. That was a flash heal right there, flash of light, sorry. I put beacon out and I'm gonna flash of light this guy, and it full heals him and it heals me. It heals anybody else who needs it. Those are the kinds of moments that felt really good to me. And these abyssal blasts that are going out, having a single target heal like flash of light just felt really good in this moment. Again, it generates holy power. My holy power generation was off the charts, which means I was spending more holy power, which means I was getting more awakening procs. It really gels. It really meshes very well together. The minor armaments that you get from the 4-piece bonus for Lightsmith are still really bad. They need to be buffed substantially, in my opinion, because that's the weakest part of the tier set for sure. You get these minor like wards that go out, the minor shields, and they do almost nothing. And the minor shields that go out, when they fade, they don't give you an infusion proc, which is fine. You would have way too many infusion procs if that was the case. But I just want to make sure that that's clear. If you're getting those little minor shields or minor swords that are going out, they don't give you an infusion proc. But you don't need them because you get enough on your own. But that 4-piece bonus for Lightsmith does need to be buffed. It is really bad, in my opinion. Probably one of the worst 4-piece bonuses of all the healers right now, because they just don't do any healing. So if they get bumped up a little bit, then it'll be a lot better. Either way, my conclusion is that I think that this build is fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I love getting the infusion procs. I love that the infusion procs actually mattered, and it ended up equaling a lot of healing. You know, if we look at the overall, my overall in the most recent key that I did, again, Flash of Light being 8.7% of my healing. If we go back to the another, oh no, those are our cars were all duds, We didn't actually, there's the Dawnbreaker there, I think. You can see Flash of Light was 7.2% of my healing. We had a 4 mil crit. We had a 4 mil normal hit, and then a 7.1 mil crit. So I like this a lot. Whether or not you're going to use talents like Power of the Silver Hand, that might be a flexible one that you could go to Glorious Dawn. You could go over to Truth Prevails. You could maybe drop this if you wanted to. I was just trying the maximum amount of synergy that I could get, and I think it worked out quite well. I did get some pretty juicy Holy Shocks. I had a 16.8 mil Holy Shock. That's because of Power of the Silver Hand. And again, we're proccing Power of the Silver Hand more often because of the flash of lights that we're casting. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. My conclusion here is that I think this is how you should play Lightsmith going into Season 3. Genuinely. Whether you're in Mythic Plus or Raid, I think this is a build that you should consider because Flash of Light is so damn strong now with the Infusion procs. It felt really, really good. So let me know what you think in those comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.